Good evening and happy Wednesday. So I'm coming to you a little bit later today. I had grandkids this afternoon and they got a little bit later. I had a good time with them again. And so then after they left, I'm like, start supper or start making a card? Start supper or start making a card? My husband and I agreed that leftovers would be good. And I got to work on my card and thought I'll get this to you guys. And it's kind of an evening episode. So I'm kind of interested to see who's going to join in with me, because I feel like when I come on in the evening, I see a whole bunch of different people pop up, but I'm seeing Mary and I'm seeing Lisa, and you guys are always so faithful to join in. Let me grab my card so I can show you what I'm doing here. So this is card number 4 for February Stamp Camp, and I love that I remembered to pull out the Glimmer paper. Again, the rainbow Glimmer paper is so fun, and I just thought, oh, how fun to pair that with that fun Ombre paper from the Celebration series too. Hi Ruth, hi Julie. So yeah, so let me get my camera turned around here, and that way you can kind of see it so the happy birthday isn't backwards for you guys to read. So let's see. I'm gonna hope that my lighting is decent too for being evening. Okay, so here it is. Hello there, Carol and Donna and Tori. So like I'm trying to move my card around just so you can kind of see that fun rainbow Glimmer paper. And this is one of the stamp sets. It's called You Are Amazing. And if you like to follow along, You Are Amazing is from the mini catalog, and it's right up in the front and can easily be overlooked because it's in with all the kits. So for my beginner stampers, and I'm having some of these beginner stampers join in on my Facebook Lives and YouTube videos because it's still COVID, guys, and people are still stuck at home. And this week, everybody wants to be stuck at home. It's so cold. So I always like to show off the kits for those that are beginners, but also I'm amazed at how many people like the kits because everything's all inclusive. So even my people that have stamped a lot, if we go to retreats and crafting retreats, the kits in the beginning of any of the catalogs are always great because everything you need is included. So this particular kit, you can either buy all the paper products and accessories to make all the fun cards, or the stamp set, or all of it, and it even gives you the suggested colors that you would need for ink pads too. So I was like, oh, you know, I'm probably going to regret not getting this, or I might get it just next week. That's how I roll because I might think, oh, I want that. But this is the stamp set. And so because I could buy the stamp set separate, I thought, you know, sometimes I just even pull inspiration from what is in the card kit and then use it for different things here. So this is where I'm getting that stamp set, because you can purchase just the stamp set separate. Hey there, Barb. Hi, Becky. Hi, Pam. So that is where that is coming from the mini catalog. I'm going to set that aside. And then, of course, the Oh So Ombre paper that I've been using a lot of because it is from Celebration. Hello, my sweet friend Karen, all the way from the East Coast joining in. And then this Glimmer paper. Okay, whoops, let me back up. So the Oh So Ombre is in Celebration brochure on page 7, and I've been using that a lot, so you probably have it memorized like I do. But the Glimmer paper, because it's almost kind of hidden in the annual catalog, I like to show you where to find that, and that is on page 153, and you can see it there. So what I want to point out that is so super fun, not only does it make the best balloons for this, hi Rosina, it coordinates so well with the Oh So Ombre. So the Glimmer paper is 12 by 12, and you can see how it is definitely rainbow from side to side. But then when you pull out some of this Oh So Ombre free Celebration paper, I'm having a tough day with my wrist. It's just kind of stiff, just plain stiff today. Okay, so when you can see this, you can see how this, actually I should put it like that, coordinates so well with some of those too. And then you flip it over and then you get some of the greens from there and some of the pinks too. So I think it's kind of fun how when I was putting my card together, I didn't realize how much of it kind of goes so well together. So here's my little bits of pieces and scraps that I save and such. And so what I did for tonight is I just kind of cut off a strip that had most of the greens and into the Bermuda Bay Coastal Cabana colors that I'm using for my card base here. So I just kind of cut that strip. And then for the 6x6, some of you say, oh, 6x6, how do you cut yours to, you know, to make the best use of it? So the Oso Ombre comes 6x6. So what I do is I just kind of take, and here again, I cut my paper left-handed, so this is going to look goofy for you guys. So 5.5 is what I want it to be cut at. So I'm just going to cut off that 1/2 inch strip here. So that's going to be what my scrap is if I make 2 cards. So then I take the remainder that is 6 inches apart and just cut it right at the 3-inch mark. And now I can make 2 cards like tonight, like this, 2 cards out of the 1 sheet. So that's how I'm cutting it. Sometimes like it's easy, and some people just kind of need like a little video walkthrough to help them to know. And I love helping you guys out so that you can make the most out of your products always. Okay, so this is so fun and quick and simple. It was even quicker to put together than I thought it would be. So let me do some assembly first. So with that strip, I want to make sure I have 2 pieces that are very similar. Lots of white pieces here tonight. I'll like pick and choose which one to use, but I think I have the right one here. So I'm going to take that 5.5 by 3 of the Oso Ombre, and I kind of wanted to have the white of those dots pop off of the white cardstock, so that's why I'm using kind of another white layer underneath there. So this I'm just going to put right up to the top. So my white, a lot of times my white layer or whatever layer is the next layer, I just do a 1/4 inch. Tonight I'm doing a 1/2 inch because I wanted it to have a nice wide border of white on each side. Hello there, Cheryl and Linda. Thanks for joining in. Okay, so then that is going to be 3.5 by 5.5 for the white measurement. And then my card base is Bermuda Bay, so that's going to be the typical 4.25 by 5.5, like so, folded that way. So this is ready to go on there too. So I love how that just makes a nice card front, just like so. Okay, so how fun that the white on the side, sometimes white is underestimated, but like I said, I think it makes the whole ombre look and these white circles really pop. So this I'm going to just set aside, and I'm going to pull over just a piece of basic white and open up my Coastal Cabana ink pad. And from the Fun You Are Amazing stamp set, there's this big kind of like a word bubble here. Let me kind of adjust my camera so you can see more of my desk area. So the word bubble is solid image, and you can see here it's very solid. If you have stamps like this, this is a red rubber cling, but even when you have the photopolymer and it's this solid, what I like to do is either write on my desk or write on my paper, treat it like an eraser the first time you use it, or before you use it the first time, and pretend like you're kind of erasing something, because usually our solid stamps have some kind of coating on there, and once we get that off, it just really makes the ink stick to it so much better. So that's my tip for tonight. You can all sign off now, just kidding. Okay, so I'm going to ink this up, and if you have spots that are lighter or darker, that's fine too. So I try and, you know, get it as equal as I can or solid on there. And like I said, this is Coastal Cabana, so that gives us a nice solid bubble there. So good. Thanks, Tori. And then the next color that I have here is the Bermuda Bay, and these 2 colors pair together wonderfully. So this is the darker of the 2, and I love this happy birthday. I think what I love about it is kind of has some stippling or little dots on there, and it can be used for guys, gals, kids, adults, just kind of festive looking. So that I'm going to ink up in Bermuda Bay. Oh shoot, I got some little happies up above there. I did not want that to happen. Let me quick restamp if I can here. I'm just going to do that. There, that turned out good. You never know if you restamp if it's going to be worse. I'm just not going to press as hard. But I tell you, after I'm done with the video, I'm going to go clean this up and then take my scissor and trim around there. I didn't do it with this one, and often I do my trimming. Okay, so there's no die for this. So what I'm going to do next is fussy cut. So, and I'm doing this on camera. Sometimes when I have fussy cutting, I do it off camera, but I wanted to show you how easy. I'm going to see if I can kind of straddle my camera here and do it. There we go. I wanted to show you how easy this word bubble is to cut out. So the main thing is to just kind of try and cut around it, leaving the most equal amount of white space as you can. And a lot of times I'm turning my cardstock more than I'm turning my scissor, if you can kind of tell. So I'm kind of just feeding the white into that, but within not too much time at all, it's already done. So there we go. So there's the happy birthday word bubble all cut out. And Carol, if you need a good scissor, Stampin' Up! Has the best. And I tell you what, I have 2 scissors always on my workstation. This blue handled one, and I have them labeled in my mind. You know, I know which is which. So there's the blue one that's for cutting paper. Anytime I cut paper, there's that. And then this one is for anytime I cut ribbon. And that is because the ribbon obviously needs to be sharper. And I have one that I just need to replace that was kind of before the time of this one, and it's pretty dull. I do have a scissor sharpener, but I think it's just time to say farewell to that one. Okay, so for those of you just joining, this is a card I'm making. I'm just going to set that aside here. So my next thing is to punch out these balloons, and here is the balloon bouquet punch. So I'm going to start by feeding that in with kind of the green edge, and then I'm going to move it over. Oops. Actually, I'm going to cut that off. I think I wanted to do a small one first, but it's, maybe not. We'll see. So now I'm going to do a small one and then a small one. There we go. I think this is how I want it to be. Yes, it actually is. And I'm just going to cut again. And I did kind of a skinny strip because I wanted to get as many of these blues and greens in as I could to kind of coordinate with the card. And even with the purple, I was like, oh, is that going to be too weird to have the purple? But that actually kind of worked out okay too. So I kind of am going to layer them every other, like so on my card, so you can kind of see how that's going to come together. Thanks, Pam. Yeah, I did think it would be kind of fun for almost any age. And this is where I kind of now set everything aside and do my wild assembly. And I want you guys to pay attention to how I do this, because I think it will save you guys time and frustration. So I'm pulling out my snail mail twine combo pack. And yeah, the paper is so fun. So I'm going to just use this white. Now what I'm going to do is just clip 4 tiny white strands of the twine here, like so. Just 4 little tiny ones. Set my ribbon scissors aside, and then I'm going to grab some dimensionals. And so before I put my dimensional on each balloon, I'm gonna tack down that string so it looks like it's kind of going in that area right up where a balloon string would go. It doesn't have to be perfect though. So for my bigger balloons, I'm doing 2 dimensionals. And then for my smaller balloon, I'm just going to do 1. And it kind of seems like maybe a little putsy for now. But when you see how fast I can flip it onto the card, you're going to go, oh my goodness, how fun is that? I hope anyway. That was my goal, because that's kind of what I actually did with myself. Like, ooh, I have not been doing it this way. And now I know that this is the way I should do it. Okay, and then my backside looks goofy because remember I redid that. So across the top of the back, I'm sure all of you have these little sheets that have just kind of your edges left. So I'm just going to take this edge, cut that off there, and peel that back quick. And that's going to go across the whole top. And then I'm just going to take some various dimensionals here, like so. And I'm going to pull off these papers. So we have that. So this is what it looks like, upside down smile from a monster. Okay, so we have that, and it's really important to kind of have that be solid across the top. Setting that aside, and then all of these papers come off at the same time too. So we have these little balloons here. Sometimes these papers come off really quick, the next time not so much. There we go. Okay, so what I do next, now watch how fast this card comes together. It's like if I was like a speedy Rubik's Cube solver. Here we go. So I'm just going to do that, pull down on the string, make this one down a little bit so that that string's coming there, and then this one up a little bit, kind of maneuvering that string there, and then that. So it's kind of all pointed towards the center of the card like so. So then I have all these strings like that. Let me show you that. And then this is going to just, actually this one looks like it could be a little long. You know those strings, you don't think you need them too long, but then when you have them short, they look too short. Okay, so we have all these strings here. And then what I'm going to do is just make sure like that I kind of catch them, and now they're all stuck in my dimensional that goes across the top there like so. So all these strings are tight and just like perfect because they're going to be stuck right in that line, that straight line of dimensionals on the back side like so. Maybe that's the way you guys do your things all the time, but I just thought, oh, how fun. So I think for you guys, like this one might be off a little bit. I maybe took a little bit more time on my sample, but I want to be really quick, so it made it look really fantastic for you guys. Hi, Carla. Hi, Missy. So then for the inside, using stamps from that same stamp set, You Are Amazing, I'm going to pull out the Bermuda Bay ink again and stamp You Are Amazing on the inside, and then pulling that lighter color, the Coastal Cabana, and I'm just going to stamp that for some light accents. So the stars and dots and the You Are Amazing are all in the same stamp set as the happy birthday there. Thanks, Lisa. And then I'm just going to put my seal on the back here, and I'm not going to add any more. Like you could add some fun like rhinestones or something if you wanted to, but I just thought, oh, I love this glimmer paper, and I just kind of wanted that to steal the show. And with this being so big and fun and the fun paper, I'm like, let's just have it be just a fun type of paper card too. So not a lot of supplies. You saw how tiny my strip was that I got all these balloons, and I cut it narrow just so that, like I said, I could get the balloons and not have much for waste and whatever. So yeah, so fun. And if you're just joining in, so this is the Glimmer paper, and I was showing everybody like how, depending on what ombre paper you're using for that, I'm getting lots of scraps over here as I go through my ombre paper. You can see some of these will go with other things too. So if you wanted to kind of change up your card, make it like this, but use different pieces of the rainbow glimmer paper, that would work out great. So that is tonight's card, guys. Card number 4 already. So I'm just cruising away. Whoops. There we go. Cruising away on my February stamp camp, coming to you virtual. So yeah, and I don't think anybody's too heartbroken when it's so cold this week that they don't have to venture out for an in-person class, but I know we all enjoy being together, crafting together, but it's kind of nice to be warm and snuggled in at home too. So that was card number 4 out of 10. Tomorrow, the rest of the week, I'll bring you 5 and 6, yeah. And then next week I'll come back with some more hostess cards too, but by the end of the month I'll have the whole set of 10 if you want the set of 10 and have to place an order, and it's $75 minimum. Then just use that host code and you'll get all 10 cards. If you just want the cards anyway, then just let me know, and then I'll get those 10 cards out to you when they're finished too. So have a good night, and I'll probably be back with you guys tomorrow afternoon with card number 5. See you then. Bye-bye.